Good morning, students. Today, before I head on to the next chapter, I have a doubt from one of you, Ipshita Chaudhary. You have a doubt from chapter 1. You have written, what about the function of mitochondria and Golgi apparatus? It is asked, but the question of those 2 points are not given. Well, I want you to rewatch the video for chapter 1, that is cell. There are 4 parts of the video and details of everything is given. Another thing, this is for all of you, the questions that I discuss after ending each chapter, those are only the probable questions. You may get questions from each and every topic that is being asked, that is being discussed. So I want you all to focus all your attention to the better understanding of the chapter instead of just solving the question. And the function of mitochondria and Golgi apparatus, not only the function, its location of the cell is also explained in very minute detail in the very first video, the cell video. Ipshita, I want you to rewatch the video, hear it very minutely, take notes. Even after that, if you don't find the answer, I'll definitely help you out. But before that, I want you to try it by yourself. When new plants are formed from the vegetative parts of the plant, such as the roots, stem and leaves, it is called vegetative propagation. Now, vegetative propagation can be of 2 types. One, it can be done by the natural method and the artificial method. Artificial method involves us. It is done by the man. And in today's chapter, we will be learning the different types. Okay, this both natural and artificial type of vegetative propagation in detail. First, we shall start with natural vegetative propagation. So natural vegetative propagation is something that takes place naturally in the nature. Now, the common methods involved in natural vegetative propagation are underground roots, underground stems, subaerial stems, adventitious buds and bulbing. Underground roots, where do we observe? We see it in case of dahlia, sweet potato, asparagus. Now, underground roots, these are the parts, like the parts of underground root from which an entire new plant grows. The underground root is that important. Okay, the roots basically store food which is used at the sowing time. Now, this food basically provides nutrition for the growth of the new plant. Next is the underground stem, which includes bulbs, rhizomes. Bulbs are small plants enclosed in large food storing leaves which grow underground from a short, thick, disc-shaped stem. For example, in case of onion. Rhizomes, they are horizontal stems from which a whole new plant grows and they are situated partly underground. For example, in turmeric. Next underground stem are the tubers. Now, what are tubers? Tubers are large underground stems and they contain stored food with eyes containing bud. Now, this bud gives rise to new plant. You will see tubers in potatoes. Next are the corms. They are condensed form of rhizomes and they are formed vertically in the ground. Next comes the subaerial stem. Now, which includes runners. What are runners? Runners are horizontal stem which grow parallel to the ground and they almost touch it. See, it is clear from the name. They are subaerial and they have long internodes. After runners, we have stolons. What are they? They are lateral branches which arises from the base of the stem. They run on the ground and on touching, it gives rise to adventitious roots. And these adventitious roots forms a new plant. For example, we see it in case of strawberry. Next are the offsets. Offsets give rise to tuft okay, tough buds. And where are the buds formed? The buds are formed at the node. Now these are the offsets and adventitious roots below. For example, water hyacinth. Suckers, this is the next type. The stem grows upward and give rise to new branches and adventitious root. The next type of natural vegetative propagation is the adventitious buds. Now, for example, in case of Bryophyllum, the leaves of plants produce adventitious buds, okay, and these buds grow into new plants, either when the leaf falls off from the parent plant, okay, in any of the way, like whenever the buds grow, it is these buds that develop into the new plant. Next, at the bulbils, they are modified flowers. Like in case of pineapple, some of the upper and lower flowers of the inflorescence becomes modified. Modified into what? Modified into small tufts, and these are called the bulbils. They grow on the ground and grow into new plants. Now we will learn a new word, okay, new term, that is perennation. What is perennation? Perennation is a kind of vegetative reproduction. Vegetative reproduction, that means a reproduction which takes place from parts other than the seed. Now, in plants such as potato, ginger and onion, the main plant dies after completing its season, but its special underground parts survive under the ground. Now, these special parts produce new individuals of their plant in the next season. So, perennation is a kind of vegetative reproduction, that is reproduction from parts other